I'm sorry, the attorney said, scanning the final page as if he might find a correction between the lines. The estate, including the residence, investment accounts, and controlling shares of Mercer Holdings, passes in full to Daniel Mercer. The air in the conference room shifted. Not shock, recognition. My brother didn't move. He only exhaled, slow, controlled, like a man whose expectations had just been confirmed. Across the table, Aunt Lydia squeezed his hand. "Your father always knew," she murmured. "He always knew." My name hadn't been said yet. The attorney continued, voice measured. To his daughter, Evelyn Mercer, he leaves a personal bequest of $25,000. $25,000. After 10 years of managing medications, reviewing quarterly reports at midnight, untangling vendor contracts Daniel signed without reading, and moving back into our father's house because someone had to. Daniel leaned back, composed. He believed in continuity, he said to the room, clear leadership. He still wasn't looking at me. "And that's everything?" I asked. "For the primary distribution, yes. Primary." I folded my hands in my lap and felt the weight settle. Not grief, not anger, a narrowing. Daniel had inherited the house, the company, the narrative. I stayed quiet. Favoritism in our house had never been loud. It was administrative. When Daniel crashed the Mercedes at 17, Dad called it an investment in learning. The insurance paid, the car was replaced. When I changed my major without consulting him, my tuition was frozen for a semester. "Decisions have consequences," Dad said. "You don't improvise with capital." Daniel was given latitude. I was given conditions. At 28, Daniel was named Executive Vice President of Development. He had no development background. He had charm and our father's surname. I had spreadsheets and the patience to read footnotes. 3 years later, when discretionary spending spiked in Daniel's division, I was the one who flagged it, quietly, adjusted projections, rebuilt cash flow models so payroll wouldn't miss a cycle. Dad didn't reprimand him. He told me, he's ambitious. He asked me to sit in on board meetings after that, not as a director, to take notes. When the diagnosis came, late-stage pancreatic cancer, Daniel flew in from Aspen. He stood at the foot of the hospital bed. "I'll handle the company," he said. "You focus on getting better." For 18 months, I coordinated treatment schedules and investor calls. Daniel made appearances. I made sure the numbers held. But that wasn't the worst part. 3 weeks before Dad died, Daniel hosted a dinner for 2 board members at the house. I wasn't invited. I came downstairs for water and heard him from the dining room. "Evie's incredible with details," he said lightly. "But leadership? Dad always said she's more comfortable supporting." There was soft laughter. I stood in the hallway and listened to myself being summarized. The next morning, Dad asked me to bring his files. "Your brother has vision," he said, voice thin. "He needs structure." "And who provides that?" I asked. He didn't hesitate. "You do." Not acknowledgement, assignment. I stayed quiet. Back in the attorney's office, Daniel accepted condolences like they were part of the inheritance. When the room thinned, he turned to me. "I hope you're not taking this personally." "It's a will," I said. "It's about stability. Dad didn't want confusion." "I'm sure he didn't." "You'll still have a role, obviously. We're family." "A role?" "I'll consider it," I said. He nodded, relieved by my restraint. "Good. Let's keep this clean." They thought that was the end of it. 2 weeks later, Daniel called an all-staff meeting. He stood at the front of the conference room in one of Dad's tailored suits. "As of this month, I'll assume full operational control. We are entering a new chapter." Applause. "I want to thank Evelyn for her support during Dad's illness. She's been invaluable in keeping things organized." Organized. Afterwards, he pulled me aside. "I'm restructuring," he said. "We need clearer lanes." "What lane am I in?" "I think Director of Internal Compliance suits you." "That's a demotion." "It's alignment." "I built the restructuring plan you presented last quarter." "You're detail-oriented, Evelyn. That's not an insult." "Neither is competence." His jaw tightened. I'm trying to protect you from being overexposed, from scrutiny, from failure. I held his gaze. Send the formal proposal. He mistook my calm for agreement. I stayed quiet. The memorial reception was held at the country club Dad had belonged to for 30 years. White lilies, silver trays, a curated slideshow. Halfway through, Daniel tapped his glass. Dad built this from nothing, he began, and I promised to carry it forward. Polite applause. He taught me that leadership requires clarity, sometimes difficult decisions. His eyes found me across the room. I know not everyone will agree with every move I make, but Dad trusted me. There it was. Later, near the bar, one of the board members approached me. You must be proud, he said. Daniel's a natural successor. Is that what Dad told you? I asked. He hesitated. He mentioned you preferred supporting roles. Preferred. Across the room, Daniel was laughing with investors. When I moved toward the exit, he intercepted me. You've been very composed, he said. I'm at a memorial. I need unity right now. Is that what you're calling it? He lowered his voice. Don't undermine me. In front of whom? In front of people who already understand how this works. How what works? He looked at me steadily. Succession. The word landed harder than anything else that night. You think I'd embarrass you? I asked. I think you overestimate your leverage. The room hummed around us. No one was listening. That almost made it worse. You're confusing silence with weakness, I said, and you're confusing diligence with leadership. There it was, clean, public enough. A board member glanced in our direction. Daniel's expression softened instantly. Let's not do this here, he said. You started it. He smiled for the room. Evelyn's emotional. It's been a hard month. If you've ever been summarized instead of understood, subscribe to this channel. Because some stories don't end at the table. The board member nodded sympathetically. Emotional. I felt the ground tilt. Not rage, not tears, a recalibration. You're right, I said quietly. It has. He squeezed my shoulder like a benevolent older brother. They thought that was the end of it. Strategic silence isn't passive, it's selective. I accepted the director title. I moved into the smaller office without protest. I attended meetings. I stopped correcting him in real time. When he projected revenue increases tied to an acquisition he hadn't fully vetted, I let the board absorb it. When he reassured investors about liquidity, I didn't mention the tightening margins. I watched. At night, I sorted through Dad's legal files, not the sentimental letters, the amendments. Daniel visited the house less frequently. When he did, he moved through it like a man who had already renovated it in his mind. One afternoon, he appeared in the kitchen. Are you planning to stay here? He asked. It's still my residence. It's now under my control. I'm aware. He leaned against the counter. I just need clarity. You'll have it. He studied me. Are you not contesting the will? Why would I? Relief flickered across his face. Good. That would get messy. I poured coffee into 2 mugs. Daniel, I said. Yes? Did you read the will in full? Of course. Every page? He shrugged. The attorney summarized it. Summaries omit nuance. He gave a small laugh. It's straightforward. I nodded. I stayed quiet. 31 days after the reading, the attorney emailed Daniel requesting both our presence for final administrative execution. Daniel forwarded it to me. Apparently, there's a clause to formalize. Can you attend? For optics. For optics. The morning of the meeting, he looked relaxed. This is housekeeping, he said, as we sat across from the attorney again. The attorney closed the door. There is a final provision, he began, opening a separate folder. Your father established a conditional trust structure tied to the controlling shares. Daniel frowned faintly. Conditional? Yes. The attorney's tone didn't change. While you are the named primary beneficiary, voting rights are subject to fiduciary compliance and performance thresholds. Daniel gave a short laugh. That sounds unnecessarily complex. It is deliberate. The attorney said, I kept my hands folded. The attorney continued, "If the acting CEO engages in material financial misrepresentation, attempts to liquidate core assets without unanimous board approval, or secures personal debt against anticipated company distributions, control transfers to the secondary trustee." Daniel's posture stiffened. Secondary trustee? The attorney looked up. Evelyn Mercer. Silence. "That's incorrect," Daniel said immediately. "I would have known." "It was executed 6 months ago," the attorney replied. "Your father amended the estate after reviewing updated financial reports." Daniel turned to me slowly. "You knew. I attended the meeting. You pushed him. I presented documentation." The attorney slid a document across the table. "This is the personal loan you secured last week, collateralized by projected dividends." Daniel's face tightened. "It qualifies under the trust's definition of debt secured against company equity," the attorney replied, "which triggers review." Daniel looked back at me. "You waited?" "Yes." "You let me step into this?" "You stepped." He stood. "You've been setting me up." "No," I said evenly. "I've been building safeguards." The attorney interjected, calm as ever. "Ownership and control are distinct under this structure. Pending review, voting rights transfer to Evelyn." Daniel's voice dropped. "You're enjoying this?" I considered the question. "No," I said. "I'm correcting it." He sat back down slowly. For the first time, his confidence had edges. The board meeting that followed was quiet, procedural. Daniel tried to frame it as technical overreach. "It was a short-term bridge loan," he said. "It doesn't indicate mismanagement." "It wasn't disclosed," the CFO replied. "It didn't need to be." "It does under Section 4.3, I said, sliding the document toward him. He didn't look at the page. He looked at me. "You've been preparing for this." "I've been preparing for instability." One of the board members cleared his throat. "Daniel, the clause is explicit." Daniel's jaw tightened. "So we're voting on stripping authority from the majority beneficiary?" "We're voting on governance," the chairman said. The vote to acknowledge the temporary transfer was unanimous. Daniel didn't argue after that. He simply nodded once and left the room. That evening, he came to the house. "I underestimated you," he said without preamble. "Yes." "You could have warned me." "Would you have listened?" He didn't answer. "You let me walk into that board meeting. You've been walking into rooms unprepared for years." He paced once, then stopped. "Are you trying to remove me?" "No." "Then what?" "I am ensuring you can't remove me." Silence. "Did Dad know you'd do this?" "I told him I would protect the company." "And me?" I met his eyes. "I tried to protect you. You mistook it for interference." He looked away first. The review lasted 60 days. During that time, I worked. We renegotiated the loan, paused the acquisition, adjusted forecasts to reflect actual liquidity. Investors stopped asking if we were overleveraged. At the final meeting with the attorney, Daniel was composed. "I accept the findings," he said evenly. "The loan was poorly timed. With corrective measures implemented, the trust permits reinstatement of voting rights under co-trustee oversight." Daniel glanced at me. "Co-trustee?" "Yes. Your father anticipated shared governance." Daniel almost smiled. Of course he did. Outside on the courthouse steps, he stopped. "Are you going to push me out?" "No." "Why not?" "Because this was never about replacing you." He studied me. "Then what was it about?" "Being impossible to sideline." He nodded slowly. "I didn't think you wanted this. I didn't want a title. I wanted influence." He considered that. "I see you now," he said quietly. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't warm, but it was accurate. The house feels different now. Not because ownership changed, it didn't, but because the assumptions did. In meetings, Daniel checks numbers before presenting them. He asks questions he used to dismiss. Sometimes he looks at me before answering. The $25,000 sits untouched in a separate account, a reminder of what was visible and what wasn't. The final clause wasn't revenge, it was architecture. Structures shape behavior. Incentives expose character. For years, I thought confrontation would fix the imbalance, that if I argued clearly enough, someone would revise the narrative. Instead, I revised the framework. They gave my brother everything, until the lawyer read the final clause, and in that quiet room, with no raised voices and no spectacle, the leverage shifted. Not because I demanded it, because I built it. I don't feel triumphant. I feel positioned. For the first time in my life, I'm not standing at the edge of the table, waiting to be acknowledged. I'm seated, and no one is summarizing me anymore.